There comes a moment in many lives when silence is no longer something that happens around you, but something forced upon you. A silence shaped by other people's discomfort, fear, envy, and unresolved inner conflicts. And it begins subtly, almost kindly, as advice, as concern, as laughter that lingers half a second too long, as glances exchanged when you speak your truth. Until one day you realize that every word you offer to the world is being weighed not for its honesty, but for its threat. And that is the day the pressure begins, the pressure to soften, to adjust, to dilute yourself until your voice fits neatly into the expectations of others. Carl Jung believed that the psyche is not only personal but collective, and when a person speaks from the depths of their inner truth, they disturb the collective sleep. Because truth forces confrontation with the shadow, and most people would rather silence the mirror than face what it reflects. In the beginning, the voice is natural, unguarded, almost innocent. It speaks because it must, because it has not yet learned fear. It speaks from instinct, from intuition, from something older than language itself. Jung would call this the voice of the self, the organizing center of the psyche that seeks wholeness, not approval. But the world does not reward wholeness, it rewards compliance. Slowly, the environment responds. People interrupt more often. They smile less. They begin to explain you to yourself. They tell you that you are too intense, too serious, too questioning, too emotional, too different. None of these words are neutral. They are attempts to return you to the herd, to pull you back into the safe, shared illusion where no one stands out enough to be targeted. Silencing rarely comes as an attack. It arrives as concern disguised as wisdom. Be careful, they say. Don't say that. You'll hurt people. This isn't the right place. You're overthinking. Each phrase is a small stone added to the wall between your inner world and the outer one. Jung warned that repression does not eliminate psychic content. It pushes it into the unconscious, where it grows distorted and dangerous. When you are silenced externally, the psyche does not become quiet. It becomes loud inside. Thoughts repeat. Dreams intensify. The body tightens. Anxiety rises. Not because something is wrong with you, but because something essential is being denied expression. At first, you try to negotiate with the world. You lower your voice. You choose safer words. You soften your truths into jokes. You add disclaimers before your thoughts, apologizing for existing before you even speak. This is the birth of the persona, the social mask Jung described, the version of you designed to survive society. The persona is necessary, but when it becomes a prison rather than a tool, the soul begins to suffocate. You feel it in moments of exhaustion that sleep cannot cure, in the strange sadness that arrives after social interactions, in the sense that you are present everywhere, but absent from yourself. The more you comply, the more the world demands. Silence is addictive to those who benefit from it. People who are uncomfortable with your authenticity are rarely trying to protect you. They are protecting themselves from the discomfort of self-examination. Jung understood that projection is one of the psyche's favorite defenses. When others cannot face their own suppressed desires, fears, or truths, they project them outward and attempt to destroy them. Wherever they appear, your voice becomes a container for everything they refuse to acknowledge in themselves. That is why your silence feels like relief to them and death to you. Eventually, a turning point arrives, though it does not announce itself dramatically. It arrives quietly, often in solitude, often in pain. Perhaps it comes late at night when the noise of the world finally recedes, and you are left alone with your thoughts, your dreams, your questions. Jung believed that the unconscious speaks most clearly when the ego stops interfering. In these moments, you may realize that the cost of silence has become greater than the cost of speaking. You may notice that even when you say nothing, you are still judged, still misunderstood, still excluded. Silence does not protect you, it erases you. This realization is terrifying because it forces a choice. To speak again means risking rejection, conflict, loss. To remain silent means abandoning the self. Jung called this stage the beginning of individuation, the painful process of becoming who you truly are rather than who you were told to be. Individuation is not a rebellion against others. It is a reunion with oneself. It requires confronting the shadow, the parts of you that have been hidden, shamed, or denied. Your anger at being silenced, your fear of standing alone, your resentment toward those who discouraged you. These emotions are not flaws. They are signals, messengers from the unconscious asking to be integrated rather than suppressed. When you begin to reclaim your voice, it does not return as it once was. It is deeper now, slower, more deliberate. It does not seek permission. It does not aim to convince. It speaks because silence would be a betrayal. You begin to understand that being misunderstood is not a failure, but an inevitability when you stop performing. Jung wrote that loneliness is not the absence of people, but the inability to communicate the things that matter most. As you speak your truth, some people drift away. Not because you have changed for the worse, but because you no longer play the role they assigned you. This loss hurts, but it also clarifies. There is a strange peace that emerges when you accept that not everyone is meant to hear you. Jung believed that psychological growth often isolates individuals because they move beyond collective norms. The collective values sameness, the self values authenticity. When you stop trying to be understood by everyone, your words become cleaner, sharper, more honest. You stop explaining yourself excessively. You stop defending your existence. You realize that those who truly resonate with your voice were never the majority. They are few, but they are real. Silencing teaches you something essential about power. Those who try to silence you are rarely powerful themselves. True power does not need to suppress. It can tolerate difference. Suppression is a sign of inner fragility. Jung understood that tyrants, whether personal or societal, are ruled by their own unconscious fears. When you recognize this, fear loosens its grip. You no longer internalize their discomfort as evidence of your wrongness. You see it as information about their unresolved inner world. Your voice, once reclaimed, becomes less reactive. It no longer needs to shout to prove it exists. It speaks. Jung believed that the self guides us through symbols, dreams, and intuition. And once you learn to trust that guidance, external noise becomes less authoritative. When everyone tries to silence you, it is often because you stand at the edge of transformation. Your voice threatens old structures, outdated beliefs, stagnant relationships. Not because it is aggressive, but because it is alive. Life unsettles what is dead. The task is not to shout louder, but to remain true. Not to fight everyone, but to refuse self-betrayal. In the end, silence no longer frightens you. You understand its purpose. Silence becomes a space where your voice gathers strength, where words mature, where the unconscious speaks. You no longer fear being alone with yourself, because you are no longer divided within. Jung believed that wholeness is not perfection, but integration. Your voice, your shadow, your fear, your courage, all belong. And when you speak from that place, even if the world turns away, something essential remains intact. You remain intact. And that, perhaps, is the deepest lesson Jung offers. When everyone tries to silence you, it is not a sign to disappear, but a sign that you are standing closer to your true self than ever before, which is a huge success for you. So this was today's story. Please like and share this video.